All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Gentleman's Bureau. As always, I'm Jedediah Barnes coming at you from Illinois. We've got Mark over there in Okinawa, Japan, keeping us up to date in the South Pacific. We got Lane over there in Denver in the mile high city, but actually on the outskirts because living inside of Denver is way too fucking expensive for anybody with a reasonable salary. Anyway, today we're going to be going over the finer points of the Lord of
Saying
the
I'm poor.
Rings. No, I'm saying you're frugal.
We're gonna go over the
See.
final what?
And today we're going to go over the Lord of the Rings universe. Buckle up.
Yeah, I like that. You know,
Yeah, give me some Gandalf.
Lane is slightly addicted to anything that's Lord of the Rings, and he's watching the movie constantly over and over again. For all of our listeners that didn't know that,
What?
Yeah, if
Lane,
he's not watching Big Lebowski, he's watching Lord of the Rings.
yes. How what other movies have you seen besides that this month alone, Lane?
He watched Batman, the new Batman, this month.
That
I
was
did watch
last.
the new Batman. That was last month.
Well, it was been
This-
within a month.
Let's see. Movies. I have to say, I don't watch a whole lot of movies, so you caught me red-handed with the whole. Yeah, he watches Lord of the Rings. Okay, you got me, but like,
And the
same
Big
time.
Lebowski.
And the
Okay,
Big
yeah.
Lebowski. Have you
I
seen it
just-
this month?
No.
How many times have you seen it?
How many times?
I've only seen it once this month, but that's because Jed just so happened to catch me. There's a weird circumstance where it was on, so I just decided to watch it, and then Jed caught me watching it.
What do you mean it was on? Like you got cable or
Oh.
something?
No, it was pen. It was.
That's not how streaming services work, bud.
It wasn't a strip. Exactly. I have all of the movies. I have all the movies that we're talking about. So the other movie I saw was Dazed and Confused this month, and then there's a couple scary movies. I saw The Conjuring, I think it was, or was it Insidious? It was Insidious. Watched Insidious, and then I tried to watch this other scary movie. I forget what the name of it was, but essentially it was this lady whose husband died. He had built this lake house, and I think his presence was hunting the lake house. But
Gnarly.
it was slow and boring and not exciting at all. So I had to throw that one aside.
Maybe it was just
Yeah.
like one of those sad love story movies, and you didn't really understand it.
Have you,
What is
have
love?
you guys, speaking of that, though, like, have you guys seen The Lake House?
No, I don't know what that
That's
is.
with John Wick, right? Or fucking wow. Did I really just say John? Did I
No,
really
bro,
say
it's with Neo.
John Wick? Keanu Reeves. My bad. I said John Wick. I can't believe I did
Bro,
that.
it's with Theodore Logan.
Shut up.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, no, it's with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, and like the whole premise is that this woman buys a lake house, and she starts like exchanging letters with the guy that lived there before her, and like there's a time thing going on where she's in the future or something. And yeah, man, it's a really cute story. Great watch if you need a little rom-com.
Yeah, I can
Watch.
tell you watch.
That's actually enjoyable.
Fucking. There's a thing with the time when they write letters.
I
Hey,
can be more
rom-coms are
specific
alright.
if you want. I'm just trying to like leave some mystery into the movie for you, man.
They
Like,
don't
come on.
destroy
Gotcha.
a
I
new
got you.
movie. I don't like it whenever somebody ruins a new movie. I've had too many ruined for me.
Oh, by the way, just watched Doctor Strange 2 last night. He dies.
Fuck you, Jay. Why did you do that?
Bro, it's the multiverse of madness. Think about it.
Does he really die? He doesn't really die. You're
I
just
will. I
Shut
can
up.
confirm.
Shut
at
up,
some
Jed.
point in the movie,
Shut up.
Doctor Strange dies.
Shut up, Jay. You just
A
some
Doctor
fans.
Strange
I
dies.
hate you.
Gee, I wonder if it's the Doctor Strange that everybody gives a fuck about. I doubt it. Anyways. Jed, what have you watched besides
Doctor
That.
Strange. and
Well,
the Lord of
let's
the Rings?
see. We started Moon Knight the other day. Just last night, actually, we started Moon Knight. Only watched the first episode. Trippy, a little bit
Moon
trippy.
Knight's that new thing on Disney, right? It's like, is he a
Yeah.
superhero or something? I don't know anything about it.
I don't know much about him. He's. I know he's like. He runs into Spider-Man sometimes, and I think he's in a couple crossovers with Deadpool. And like the premise, like the main, the main thing, like the Uncle Ben, the
Uncle
hideous
Ben?
features and foul attitude, like the stick is that he's got multiple personality disorder or something. So like when he's not a superhero, he is really not a superhero. Has no idea that he's kind of a superhero. I'm also not entirely sure he's a superhero. He might be one of those like I do bad things for good reasons kind of guys. I don't know. There's also an Egyptian thing going on. Like I said, only watched the first episode, but I'll give you a more in-depth update on that next time.
Cool.
And aside from that, I started watching The Orville, which is a Seth MacFarlane show on Hulu, and it's like I don't want to say it's a Star Trek ripoff, but it basically is. But
Isn't it on the old set?
No, it's like using the trope, right? Like they're not making fun of Star Trek, but like the uniforms similar, and the ship's totally different, but like the theme of the show is kind of the same.
Yeah, he was like a Star Trek fan. That's why I think it's like an homage and then like comedy Star Trek or something, right?
Yeah, but what's interesting is like they're tackling some like hot button topics in our day and age, and they're doing it in a way that's funny and not overhanded, which is it's a very fine line.
Isn't that Family Guy? Isn't that Seth MacFarlane's other
Yeah,
thing?
that's
Yeah,
Seth
Yeah,
MacFarlane.
yeah. And what is it? American Dad. What else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Adult Swim.
Adults. Yes. Other stuff. Yeah. Stuff and things. He's doing big moves. Everybody.
I thought
Big
Seth Green did Adult Swim.
It's
He
Robot
does a
Chicken.
lot. He
there's
does,
like
yeah.
there's like 6 or 7 of them all that do it. Like Seth Green does stuff on Family Guy and um,
And Adult Swim.
Adult Swim and stuff. They kind of go back and forth,
Definitely.
They swing both ways,
I'll tell you. Okay, this is what I'm gonna recommend. We're gonna watch this other movie, because I've seen the trailer for it. It looks awesome. But before that, I just wanted to gear you guys up for that. Stick around and you can listen to this cool movie that everybody's going to watch and we're going to talk about next week. But, like I was saying, so I guess I watched Lord of the Rings because we're going to do this. It was great. I forgot how much I love the second movie, the Twin Towers movie, or what is it?
The Two Towers.
Yeah.
Two Towers, yeah. The 9/11
Twin
movie.
Towers was that thing in 2001.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because The Fellowship came out in 2001, and then I wonder how they felt about releasing the next year in 2002, The Two Towers.
Yeah, that had to be pretty.
Like you think they went to Peter Jackson and said like, "Hey, sir, so there's a little sensitivity when it comes to The Two Towers." You know what I mean? He's like, "What do you mean? Why? What happened?" He's like so in depth with making this movie, he doesn't even realize what's going on in the outside world. He's just like, "What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean?" Yeah, like they flew planes into the Two Towers, like New York City. Come on, dude.
What? No?
Fuck it. I don't know nothing about it. I'm sure all these nerds don't know nothing about it. Just put it in.
Exactly. What's a plane?
Exactly
I'm caught up in this world of dragons. I only know dragon talk.
Yeah, dragons. Well, I should talk about Elvis,
Salted
goblins.
pork so much my brain's rotten.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That'd be an interesting
write about
question
the
for Peter
Nazgul.
Jackson. Like, hey, get any flick about this?
For real.
What else did I watch this month? So like I said, I fucking love Lord of the Rings too. It was a great watch. I tackled the first one night, and then the second one, and the third one I just happened to do together. It was great.
Yeah.
What else
You
did I
gotta
watch?
watch the extended, man.
Yeah, of course, of course. I watched the extended on the last two. I didn't on the first one, unfortunately, but it was still wonderful, like always. Just looking back
Yeah.
at like those set designs was great. I was just like, damn, you know how many hours I would have took to like just set up that house, and then like for those shots, it was really cool. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I was just thinking about that and like makeup and stuff, just because I remember about like how little CGI they used and how like each one of those orcs that they went through, right? And they're putting on makeup and masks on all those guys, and you know they don't like skimp on it either. Like you got a dirty hobbit, you go and you get some like uh, what am I thinking of? Like makeup to make him look like he's a dirty hobbit. Like you got coal fucking black foundation on his face and dirt.
Boy, now. No.
What?
Can't,
Well, okay,
can't do
maybe
that,
not.
Mark. That's not allowed.
No shoe polish. Yeah. So
What do you mean? I
I
think
can't
he's
even
dead
remember
on.
what else I watched because that was so good. For sure.
You know, 1 out of every 14 people that live in New Zealand worked on those films.
No way. That's awesome.
Out of 14 people, one of them did.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
legit.
That lived there at the time. It might have changed now. You know, hey, immigration's a thing.
Yeah. They brought in a lot of immigrants past like 10 years, I think. But it had something to do with a war in Syria, I think. So,
Yeah, I mean, also, I mean, think of the film. I mean, once you find out that like most of those like stunning sceneries was a real freaking place with a pretty great climate, you'd be like, why aren't I there now?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
met a dude from New Zealand once in Romania, and I have to say, him talking about it, I want to go.
Yeah. I mean, you know, New Zealand also has like a big gang culture, right?
Did not know that.
Yeah. So much so that they like to lessen the violence of gang culture. They have like some sort of boxing tournament twice a year or once a year, or something like that, where the gangs pin guys against each other that are similar size. They would just whoop on each other. Pretty
Interesting.
weird, huh?
Very strange.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I'm sure it's very cathartic.
But, anyways, yeah, I mean, just the amount of effort they put into those films, it makes it an instant classic to where if anybody that's a fan wanted to rewatch it, they would just immediately say, yeah, no questions asked. It's like it takes you on quite a journey, and one that I think everyone can relate to, one that I think everyone loves.
What do you mean
And
by relate to? Like, in what sense?
character development,
Okay, yeah.
they get attached to the characters. They um they are legit going on a journey. Like when you sit down to watch Lord of the Rings, there's no bathroom breaks. There's no, you know what I mean? It's just one of those films where, and it may be just for me because I watched it a lot when I was very little. I remember I took it from the library. It was a VHS, and my mom's like, "Okay, it's time to turn that movie back in," and I was like, "I don't know where the movie is." I like totally hid that shit, and then she caught me one night
We
watching
got
it
him.
again. Yeah, yeah, right. Damn it! I knew they were gonna find me that damn library. Um, actually, I'll just say it's the Ohio Library, and then
Ooh,
Dude, Ohio has so little.
I know,
that
I
was the
know,
movie.
I really took advantage of them, but so, but yeah, after she caught me with that, we brought it back, and I tried to get it again, and
Like
I think
immediately.
someone else, I think this is where my jealousy started, man. Like someone else had rented it out, and I was like, the audacity. Like that's my movie, motherfucker. They're like, sorry, somebody else has it out. I was like,
What's their name and address? Rolling
excuse
up.
me. Yeah, so I think like It's just one of those timeless films that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
no, I've not met anyone that said Lord of the Rings. No, I'm not watching that stupid shit. I've not met one person.
I've never even met anybody that's like, oh, like I don't. Okay, so I've met some people that are like, I don't like this part, I don't like that part, or whatever, which is cool, whatever. I mean, sometimes you just don't want to watch the battle. Like, I can get through that. That's no big deal. But like anybody that's like legitimately just like, oh, I don't like that movie. Yeah, you're right. Or there's gonna be like one or two parts of each movie where they're like, oh, that's my favorite part. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like that. You know, and like you're saying, like people can relate. It'd be like, yeah, you know, before there was all this big push for like women power. You know, we still had. She slips my mind. The girl that fucking. That's the knight. I mean,
yeah,
Nitrix?
I know you're
I don't
talking
know.
about. Her name is like Erwin or something like that. It's
Are you talking
the human
about
from Rohan.
arguing
Arguing?
lady?
Yeah.
It's like the fairest lady. She has the blondest hair, the beautiful. Gimli gets 3 hairs from her. Is that who you're talking about? She's
Yeah.
the elf.
Yeah.
No, not the
Well, I
elf.
wasn't talking about the elf. I was talking about the.
No, the human chick from Rohan that the Lich is like. The
Oh,
Lich King's like, no man can kill me, and she was like, hair flip. I am
yeah,
no man.
And then
Yeah.
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 Yeah. See, it's like those things where we're talking about like, yeah, there's women power movements. There's like, hey, you're the littlest guy on this journey. You're the littlest guy, and then you like trace back to like, oh, back whenever I was the smallest person in my friend group, but you know, the smallest guy carries the most important thing because he's you know, Mister Hobbit over there carrying the ring. You know, he can't be corrupted by its power as easily, and you know, he has the important
Yeah.
role. And at the same time, there's like his buddies sacrificing himself to keep him going. You know, there's like so many
Yeah.
spots where like you can relate and like you understand the story arc, like you were saying, Lane, and like it's very emotionally investing too because of things like that. Like um,
Right.
just for the instance, whenever in the Fellowship, whenever they're actually setting up the Fellowship, right? It's like you have my axe, you have my sword, you have my shield, all this stuff like that. You have my bow and arrow, right? And
And my axe.
And then Frodo just walks away carrying all these weapons. Like, what am I gonna do now?
I
He's
love
like,
that meme.
I
okay,
have the best friends.
this is
But yeah,
quite
no, it's
heavy.
so cool. And it's like it gets your heart going, man. And
He's
like
like, he's toting
they
a duffel bag. He's just dragging
right,
a duffel
he
bag.
can barely walk. But no,
Good for him.
yeah, I mean, and like even on another level though, like the sound design for those films was incredible. I mean, they really like put a lot of work into making sure that the soundtrack helps like guide your mood through the film. And you know, when it's tense, the music is tense. When it's high action, the music is right there with you. Like when there's something like spooky, it's like
It's it's
it's
fucking nostalgic,
yeah.
is
Well,
what
that's
it
because you
is.
watched it when you were a kid.
Well, yes, but also there's a certain structure to the music itself that makes it nostalgic on purpose. Like I will put it on if I can't sleep. I'll put on the Lord of the Rings, like Rivendell, the Elvish music. I'll put that on and I'll just fall asleep to like the waterfall, and I'll be in Rivendell, bro. I'll just be in fucking Rivendell world, dreaming away, and then eventually I'll dream about elves and fucking, you know, ancient
Archery.
rings, like 9 of them, and there was this one ring that ruled them all, and yeah, crazy dreams. But yeah, that music is something else, bro. And then like they did such a great job that like, especially when Gandalf has something very wise to say or something like,
Yeah, like the camera gets in close,
yeah,
and it's
and
just
then
like, And it's kind of like a wistful, like almost like a harpsichord, like a wistful, like.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like bringing you in, making sure you're paying attention and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so one part of it that like really stuck with me is when Gandalf and all of the Fellowship are in the Mines of Moria, and they're stuck because Gandalf doesn't know the way. You know, it's foreign to me, he says. And then Frodo says something like, I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish, you know, it wasn't on me. And he said, well, so do all who see such times. It's not for us to decide how much time we're given, but what we do with the time that's given to us, you know, basically. And I was like, fuck, man, they nailed that, like, little subtle music in the back, and like perfect. And then the way they twist it with some humor, he's like, oh, it's that way. It's like, oh shit, he found his way. Like, what the fuck? Gandalf's fucking funny, man.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
and Sir Ian McKellen, he does the character so much justice, and he's really, I mean, he's a classic. And I mean, who else could do that? Who else could do Gandalf?
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't. You wouldn't want like a. I don't know. Who would be terrible at that role? Everybody. That's not Ian McKellen, I guess.
Yeah,
but.
right.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, I just remembered the line. So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. Got it. I knew I had it up there in the noggin.
Totally.
But yeah.
Nice.
Fucking Gandalf, dude. Who's your favorite character and why? Jed?
Oof.
Oh, thanks for putting me on the spot first.
Jed,
right?
Or Mark.
That, man.
Or
I really
Mark.
do.
You want me to take this one away, Jed? You wanna sit there?
I got it. No, I got it. It's easy. Samwise motherfucking Ganji, played by the one and only Sean Austin. Here's why. This is a guy, all right? He's a hobbit. His family has been hobbits forever. They're not like the Tooks that are Bilbo's old family that were known for, you know, being a bit much, you know, being a little bit more exploratory, bigger, starting golf games and shit. No, this guy's basic as can be hobbit. He's a fucking gardener. Best job a hobbit can have, honestly. They love planting and growing shit. It's what they're all about. All right? And then one day, his buddy is called upon for this great quest to save Middle-earth. And this guy, no hesitation at all. He's just like, yeah, I'm going because you need me. And he's there till the end. And he left for like a little while, but he came back at the pivotal moment. Samwise Gamgee for unquestionable loyalty and friendship. Just
Damn,
being
that's a great answer.
Thank you.
I like that.
I talk.
Well, I think a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be Frodo. He's the main character, or like he's my favorite and stuff like that. And or they're like, elves are cool. Look at how Legolas jumps around and he's like cutting heads off and everything and shooting arrows, which is really cool. But you know, I gotta say, some axe wielding, beard having action. The one, the only.
Gimli?
I was doing chicken with you guys. Yes, Gimli. Gimli. He's
Gimli.
Awesome. I feel like he's the guy that's, you know, also like chugging beer behind the scenes, you know. He's not going into any battle sober. He's having a good time. He's always got a laugh in him, you know. And the banter in between him and his elf bro. Like
which aren't typically bros.
Yeah.
Right.
True exactly.
That. It's funny.
What about die fighting side by side to an elf? What about dying side by side with a friend? I could do that.
That line,
That line, killer.
Didn't even
That
die.
that actor's pretty funny too. The Gimli actor, when he was young, the tip of his middle finger was cut off, and so when they filmed the film, they gave him a fake tip finger, and so he played a trick on Peter Jackson, and he like took the fake tip off and put like ketchup or something on that, and he's like, "Boss, we got a problem." And he's like, "What's up?" And he's like, I lost it again." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "I'm just kidding." So yeah, he's funny.
That's great. He was
Still up
he was
to
great in the
me.
movie.
Yeah.
He was great in the movie. They were talking about him as an actor, about how like he had this big heavy axe, and he's got to work with it, and he's not a I guess he's not a professional axe wielding, sword wielding guy, right? He's an actor, and then he had to like train with all that stuff, right? He wasn't doing it beforehand, and then at the same time he's he has this big suit of armor on. I guess the helmet that they had him in, like, kind of really messed with his vision, and he couldn't see very well.
Yeah.
So
I could see that.
yeah, so they were
He could.
saying like he would have to shoot his scene, and he'd go over it first, and he wouldn't practice, I guess, right away. And he, all the guys are like, okay, you're gonna hit him, you're gonna hit him, you're gonna hit him, and you're gonna hit him, and they'll all fall. If you don't hit him, it's no big deal. Like, just come close or get next to him, and we'll edit it and post and everything. Well, he's like, okay, just whenever I hit you, just fall right away and get out of my way, kind of thing. He would hit his mark every time. He was basically blind out there. And I guess he would swing this thing with such like force that he would like knock these guys down. They were barely acting. They were just getting knocked down with tons of force. I was like, that's awesome.
He was out for heads, man. He was going for it.
Yeah, for sure. That is awesome. I thought that was really cool. He's my favorite though. I think I can relate to him quite a bit because I give a lot of people shit, and I don't have a beard, but I'm hairy.
You like to drink beer, and yep.
That's right.
Mark, I'm telling you, man, just grow a beard.
Genetics. It never comes out that good.
Do it.
Just try. You got it.
So we all went, Lane. Who was your favorite from the Lord of the Rings series?
Glad you asked, Jed. I'd have to say probably Aragorn. And
Cliche.
well, here's the thing.
For what reason?
Because he's got leadership skills. He's the rightful heir to Gondor, and he knows the power of the ring and the corruption that it could bring to the race of men again, and he doesn't let that get in the way. Even when they were through the mines of Moria and were trekking through the woods right before the orcs came, they were up on a hill, him and Frodo, and he thought that he was going after the ring because Boromir had just got done with, giving Frodo shit, basically, and being like, "Give me the ring. I need to take the ring back to my dad." And so Frodo's already starting to sense the fracturing within the Fellowship. And then here comes Aragorn, and he's walking up, and Frodo's automatically like, "Stop, you're not going to take the ring." And he's like, "Frodo, I'm here to help you. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not," he knows the power of the ring, and he knows how to control himself, and he's humble to everything he does. And he doesn't want, first off, he doesn't want to be king, even though he feels he is the rightful heir. And he's just very knowledgeable, and he grew up why him and Legolas are such friends is because he was adopted by by Lord Elrond, and he grew up in Rivendell. And it's like so there's so much to him. He's a mysterious guy. He would change his name so as not to be found out about to be the rightful heir, like Strider. Folks around here call him Strider. It's like, he's just this mysterious dude in the bar sitting cloaked, smoking a pipe. He's very mysterious. And he's got great leadership skills, and I think he's my favorite character for sure. He's that like unspoken. He didn't get a huge bolster throughout the movie. He was just that humble character in the movie that really played a huge role.
Quiet
for
confidence.
Sure. Yeah.
Quiet confidence.
Absolutely. As opposed to the other men who, like Boromir and Faramir, who were very outspoken. Faramir not so much, but Faramir, he had his own issues with his father.
What about his father, though? That guy had some serious fucking issues.
What was his name? Dorwin? Lord Dorwin. He was the steward of Gondor.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a fucking nutcase, man.
But he was somewhat like corrupted by evil, right?
He listened to Sauron. Yeah, so that's why Gandalf and Sauron well, they were a part of the High Council for the wizards.
Yeah.
But Sauron was basically his buddy. This I think his name's Dorian, Lord Dorian of Gondor. But yeah, that's why he didn't get along with Gandalf at all when he came with Mary. Yeah, Mary.
What a beautiful song that was, by the way.
I just think of like just dripping.
I know, man. I know, but the song was so good.
Stuck in my head, dude. Fucking nuts. But yeah, that guy was
the man eating a tomato ever again. Not the same way.
Definitely messed up. That guy. He's corrupted by evil for sure. That's a good. Which is, oh man. Him being very close to Mordor. Sauron knew what he was doing. He didn't want that alliance Gondor to arise again, because that would have created a whole new powerful army against Middle Earth,
Mordor.
Yeah.
So,
also,
I think it's
really
Sauron, but Sauron.
Yeah.
The other wizard.
I've always disliked how similar their names were, honestly. But
yeah.
I really like Merry and Pippin too. I mean, good couple lads there.
Right.
Oh, they're the duo, right? Like they joined the quest because like they run into Sam and Frodo while they're stealing vegetables out of the guy's garden. That was great.
Yep.
And they're the ones that bring up like, hey, why aren't we eating 11 meals a day? Like how am I going to survive? What
about 11sies? We've had one breakfast, yes.
Yeah.
About second breakfast. 11sies?
They were always fucking up though. They fucked up on Weathertop when they were cooking in the middle of the night and lit the flame, and the Nazgul were right there looking for them. Frodo woke up and he's like, fucking put it out, you fools. And then when they were in Moria, fucking, I think it was Pippin.
Knocked a bucket.
He was like, or was it Mary?
It was one of them.
Mary. I think it was Mary. He like twisted the fucking arrow on the corpse, and then the corpse just fell and then woke up the fucking whole creepy crawly orcs and eventually the Balrog.
Hey, but they went to the trees, man. They got that shit figured out.
They did.
The Ents.
They knew how to show them like, hey, this is what's going on. Look at them destroy the
Treebeard.
forest. And
Dude, and how sick was that tree battle?
Tree battle was pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
Tree
man.
battle, bro.
Exactly.
I'd say like that's my second favorite battle. Before I say my first, what's your guys' first favorite as far as fights or battles or yeah, like it can be like the full battle or like maybe like a smaller thing. Like what did you guys like the most?
I'd say honestly, Fellowship of the Ring after they get out of Moria and Boromir dies.
Oh,
On the
that's
riverbank?
It wasn't such a battle as it was deep dialogue. And like yeah, there was some fucking kick-ass scenes, but it was more so a test to their dedication to the Fellowship.
They're like right in that like what is that like a river, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like a
the
riverbank.
woods on both sides.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like that was a really cool set, I guess, to like
Yeah.
have that. Really relatable. And
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I like Aragorn so much. It's because when Frodo and Aragorn basically looked at each other and they were like, "All right, Frodo, you gotta go on your own." Okay, I understand. And Merry and Pippin were gone. They went right to it. They said, you know, they need our help. It's time to go hunt some work, and they got right back to it. And they went after Merry and Pippin, started tracking them, and he's just the shot caller, bro. You know, he's that dude. Gets shit done. Looks out for the little guys. I like that shit.
Us dwarves are natural sprinters. We're wasted over a long distance. Yeah. I was gonna say, the fight for Gondor at the very end, when Aragorn shows up with his ghost army and just steamrolls them all, man. Just
that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that was the shit, for sure.
I love it whenever. So my favorite battle scene, I guess, would be whenever they bring in the what are the elephants, like the fighting elephants, and they have like elephants, yeah, and they have like these like fortresses on top of them because they're so big, and they're just like slugging arrows, right? Fucking from the top. It's so cool.
Legolas
Like runs up. Yeah.
Fucking
climbs up
badass
his own
motherfucker.
arrows and shit.
Yeah.
See, I thought that was like the coolest fight scene, and then that still only counts as one. It's just
Yeah,
great.
they're keeping track.
Oh, back and forth. That's so great. That's so great. I love that. Yeah, that's my favorite fight scene. But second, definitely is the tree battle for sure.
Creepiest part is when Frodo encounters the spider, which the name escapes me, but I remember when I was diving into like the lore of it all, the spider has been there for thousands of years. This is an old head that's just been there and kept guard of Mordor gates, of the passage through. And man, I remember seeing that in theaters and I was so scared. So scared.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The spider is spooky, gotta say.
That was oh my god, that was a great one though. Like that was a great fight, I guess, because he's like cutting legs. He's ready to mess the spider up and everything. Sam, after that, like Sam's heroic like grab of Frodo was amazing. Like that would probably be my third favorite fight scene. Would be whenever Sam goes. He's like I gotta sneak in there. I'm putting on all this fucking armor and everything, and he's like, I don't care if he's 20 feet tall or he's bigger than me. Like I'm going after him. I'm gonna save my friend. It was awesome.
Yep. Samwise Gamgee, man, loyal, ride or die, till the end.
That was.
My God.
You're right. You're right, Jet.
Definitely. I forget what he had. Do you guys remember what he had? He had like a vial of something that shone light, and he
Yeah,
used
the
it
light
to.
of L'Oreal,
Is that what it was, Jed?
something like that.
It was from the elves, right?
From Galadriel.
Yeah, I think Lady Galadriel gave him the rope, though, right? She gave him the elvish rope, and he was like, because he made a comment when she gave him that elvish rope. He said, like, "You sure you're He said, like, "Are you sure you don't have any more of those daggers?" And she just laughed and went on. So I forget where he got that from, to be honest.
I think that's what
But-
she gave Frodo.
The light,
I think the light was what she gave Frodo.
Did
I think
she-
Frodo was the
yeah,
one that used it.
but Sam used
could
it.
be.
Sam
The
used
Sam-
it also later on.
Yeah.
Could
Got
be,
it.
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched them all as recently as you guys have.
I wasn't watching as intensely as I should have, I guess. I also have like the names really escape me, but I can like pull the scene and everything that happens like out of my head, but the
Yeah.
names are always messing with me.
Well, that's because they're weird names, man.
Nah,
Sam is like the most normal name, the whole thing.
Frodo,
And
that's
it's not
pretty
even
easy to
Sam,
remember.
it's Samwise, and they do aptly short it to Sam at some points. Mary isn't too bad, but it's spelled different, and it's a guy.
Pippin,
Yeah, but that's
Merry
not
and Pippin, hand in hand. You get me?
Yeah, those names like forever like will always be joined for me now.
For sure.
I think if I ever get like two dogs at the same time, like it's both his puppies that are brothers, I might call them Mary and Pippin.
Yeah, have twins, kids. Really stick with it. Keep it close to your heart.
I don't think I can name my kids Mary and Pippin. They'll be hobbits. They will be hobbits. I have hobbit feet. They will be hobbits. I can't do that.
Oh, well, I mean, dedication. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. You know what? You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah. Then they need sword training out in the yard.
Well, that was going to happen either way. You know.
Classically trained theater kids now. And
They'll be the top class, man.
nice.
Have you guys looked into the Silmarillion much?
No, I haven't.
That's like the before everything, right?
It will.
Yeah.
It's more than that. It's also just like lore. Like it's just little stories and lore, and it's not one continuous story. It's it's like an index or something like that. There's like a word for it.
Well, there's actually he had made it. I'm not sure if he finished it, but he had made it.
Did his son
And,
finish it then?
His
I
son,
think his son finished some stuff for him.
it had to do some. His son definitely had a part in that.
I think he might have just like put the stories in like a certain order.
That's still, yeah.
Well, some people like they really nerd out on this shit. Some people like they know everything.
Sit around speaking
dude.
Elvish or Orc and
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
bro. Like on
There's
the
a couple-
weekends.
I heard about this couple that met at a con, and neither one spoke the other one's language, but they both spoke Klingon. And they met, and they ended up getting married. And for like the first 6 months of their relationship, they just spoke Klingon until they learned each other's languages.
that is ridiculous.
Wild. I'm sure
love
that there's a similar story out there in relation to like Elvish or whatever.
It would only make it cooler if it was Elvish. But
Yeah.
Hutties.
Yeah. For sure. Fucking Lord of the Rings.
there was a Lord of the Rings card game. I don't know if it was very similar to Magic, the Gathering. You guys know what Magic the Gathering is? It's like
Yeah, I've never played.
What's Magic
never
the Gathering?
it's only the biggest card game I think in the world, right? So they had this Lord of the Rings card game, right? And they had tournaments for it and everything. I I watched this online. They had like a tournament. Where do they have it? Some bigger city, and like everybody was showing up there. About fucking, I'd say like every other person was dressed in full costume playing this game. Like there's a guy wearing a suit of armor. I was like, oh, that has to be terrible. He's in a full suit of like, it's not fake armor because I think at the time just the what am I thinking of, like all that foam cosplay stuff just wasn't there yet. So this dude's in a real suit of armor with like the sword on his back, and he's playing this card game, and he won, and you would have thought this dude fucking won the lottery. Like, he was so fucking happy, but he's screaming, and you just hear clanking as he's like, yeah. It was great. It was so fucking great.
Very nice. I thought about there's a bunch of suits of armor that people have like made into files that you can put on a 3D printer and then like assemble it together, and I've thought about doing it, but there's so many options I don't know which one to do yet.
You can mix and match, make your favorite, right?
Yeah, but you know.
Oh, Jed, I got it. Since you have the 3D printer, you know how they have like just the one in the corner, right? Like you could have a suit of armor standing in your doorway or your hall or whatever. That'd be pretty neat.
That would be pretty neat. I might do that.
You could.
But anyway,
yeah.
Do you guys got anything else on Lord of the Rings?
How do you guys feel about The Hobbit?
I like it.
Don't even talk about the fucking Hobbit.
And I guess we're wrapping it up there.
I like
remembered
it.
his name.
I understand that it's too much CGI, but I still like it.
That's what killed me was the CGI in it. But I remembered the Steward of Gondor's name, Lord Denethor. Denethor, yeah. He was Boromir's, God damn it. Yeah, Boromir's dead. Faramir and Boromir.
I guess since we've talked about like favorite battles, favorite characters, what's your least favorite character, least favorite like scene in the movie?
Fucking. I know. Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
All right, Jed, you want to go? I mean, because it's easy to love everybody. It's hard to find somebody to pick out as like, fuck that guy.
Well, the thing is like it's so well crafted that like so many of the characters are good at their character, you know, and it's just like their character, like what their character is and does and who they are, like it makes sense too much. I think the one thing I could possibly like say like, we didn't really need that was that one chick we mentioned earlier that ended up killing the ring wraith like leader guy. There was like this weird like love interest between her and Aragorn for, you know, when they first started like hanging out and moving from Rohan to like Helm's Deep, and I'm like, we all knew, like, I mean, with like how our feel of who Aragorn was, and like what we've already seen with him and Tyrael or Tamriel or whatever her name was, we already kind of know that he's gonna be faithful to her, you know, for life, right? So it's just like we don't need this, you know. We don't need to see him be tempted, and we don't need this little interplay here. Let's just get to Helm's Deep, which also great battle. And secondly, I wanted to point out like when they go to Rohan and the dude's like possessed by his servant who's working for the Dark Lord, and Gandalf, and they're like, "You have no power here," and Gandalf just throws off the gray cloaks. He's like, "Yeah, I fucking do. You have no idea what I'm capable of," you know. That's a great scene. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think to take out was that little romantic interplay between Aragorn and whatever her name was.
Word.
You're talking about Lord Theoden, I believe.
Yes.
Of Rohan.
Rohan.
When he was possessed by, I think the guy's name was Nisik, which I was gonna say that's my number one hated character. The guy who corrupts and possesses the Lord of Rohan. He just like, he's a slimy. He just looks like Smeagol 2.0. Like it, just slimy. He's manipulative. Just fucking terrible. But
yeah,
I don't know. He served his purpose.
I always I guess.
Well,
like,
no, he served his purpose. But the reason I say I don't like him is because when they were at the top, at the end of the Two Towers, and it was just Sauron left, and he was Sauron's little henchman, and he was up at the top. He just like, okay, Lord Theoden was like, come down, Nisik. You don't need Saruman anymore. And Saruman's like, talking shit to him, and then, oh, now all of a sudden you want him back in your life. Like, he literally corrupted your mind, and you want him back in your life. Like, I don't know. I didn't like that whole part. Like, I'd rather, but then Legolas shot Nisik anyways, so I don't really care.
Mark?
I don't know. I used to not like see names or no. God damn it. Gollum. I just like because of him being so creepy, and then like scammy to get the ring. I was like, fuck Gollum, right? And then like as I got older, rewatching the movies and everything, it's like, oh, I just feel bad for Gollum. He's like such in a shit place, right? I mean, I still like. He's great. It's a great character. They acted great. All those things, but it's like, damn him. But we need him. I guess we need him for like the story development and everything, and to really understand how bad the ring can turn somebody's life into, fish eggs, shit, fish heads. That's the word I was looking for. And
I don't know. He's quirky though.
yeah,
Funny.
Fat hobbits. Well, it was like that, and then I guess like the scene where Legolas slides down the stairs on that shield. Yeah, I was mad at that because I tried that for years and just messed myself up as a kid.
Bro.
I thought it was the coolest thing. I could never do it. Hurt myself.
Dude, you
so many
literally
times.
had a ramp in your house. How the fuck did you mess that up?
I wanted stairs. It was cooler.
Bro, you gotta remember, he's like over 1,000 years old. How many times do you think he wrecked his shit before he nailed it?
Nah, yeah. Well,
he's also an elf with like way more dexterity than humans typically have.
Yeah, he's like light as a feather, stiff as a board. I don't know.
Ooh, isn't it?
Any advice for the people? Since we're wrapping.
Yeah, I looked up that
Any
dude's
advice
name.
for the people? What?
His name's Grima, the character I hated. I don't know where I got Nisik from. Grima. Yeah,
but
fucking weasel.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Any advice for the people? I would say that if anybody watching this right now, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, well, thank you for having good taste.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, because clearly we have good taste too. And if you got a little bit of free time, a calendar handy, why don't you mark down September 2nd this year, because that is when the new series Rings of Power comes out on Amazon Prime. We're not sponsored, but as fans of the Lord of the Rings franchise, we're going to give it a look-see. We're probably going to talk about it a little bit. So if it's something that interests you, why don't you go ahead and check it out, and then, come on back here and listen to us talk about it. You can talk back. It's okay. And in the comments, to yourself in the room that you're watching us in, whatever, I'm not going to judge, but you can email us. That'll be down in the description too. We'll also leave some links to our audio-only platforms. Check those out if you don't want to look at our ugly mugs anymore. I understand. On that note, thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Later.